You wrote a book called No Ordinary Dog that is out everywhere, which was written for your dog, Cairo, who was on the Osama bin Laden raid in 2011. That's a crazy story, man. Why did it take so long to get a book written about it now, you think?
We just took our time writing it. It wasn't an easy process. Working with Joe Layden was nice. It made things easier, at least on my end, and he helped me put together a great story. And then we also had to get it approved. The approval process takes a little bit as well sometimes.
The Department of Defense. So for Matt's book, if you haven't bought it, you can buy that too. Thank you for my service. You can bang both books, get both of them. Thank you for my service. And No Ordinary Dog out now. This one took 17 months at the DOD. I had to send an email. I still remember her name to this day, Kelly McHale. I sent her an email for 53 straight weeks. Every Friday at 4 o'clock. I did it Andy Dufresne style from Shawshank Redemption.
Nice.
Yeah, did you have to go through the same thing?
We just waited a long time, but it all finally ended up getting approved.
So you waited it out. You didn't have to email or have your lawyers call or anything?
I think some people called for me, but I never had to call.
Look at how secretive this one is. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, it seems like how many edits did you have to do after it came back from the DOD?
I think only one edit.
Oh shit.
Oh really?
Yeah,
what was the redaction? Do you remember?
Just stuff they didn't want in the book, man.
Yeah. Ours, dude.
No deal.
Well, no, because and that's why I'm curious.
Some of it was stupid. Like they wanted to remove, I think Matt referred to somebody as a James Bond or some shit.
Yes,
and they made him remove that out. Like everybody, what the fuck? Why is that the line?
The word James Bond was redacted. There was another part with Inspector Gadget that was redacted.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Don't know why.
It's super dumb.
Yeah, you don't remember what your redactions were?
There's a couple simple things, and there was some things that I understood about gear and things. But
I mean, that's a pretty serious situation.
Yeah, sure. There was some things that I wrote in there about the process to go through like Q school and stuff that they took out, and they were like, "Hey, man, we don't really want anybody else knowing." Right. That I understood, and I was fine with. The other shit where I was just like the word pod, it wouldn't let the word pod be in there if you were, sleeping in a pod overseas.
I don't think we use the word pod.
That's strange.
Strange.
And I had to imagine for you, you worked with another author. What was his name?
Joe Layden.
Joe Layden, yeah.
Great guy.
And then working with a dog is obviously difficult because the dog doesn't speak English. So I'm sure that took a while.
It took a little bit when I started handling Cairo just to get the voice inflection down to, the emotions run up and down the leash when it comes to dog training.
Yeah, it's funny.
I had to get that
Mike
down.
Ritland said the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're surrounded by a bunch of team guys, and it's nothing but jokes. So for you to clap your hands and all that crap around a bunch of guys, it's like, it took me a minute to come around. But it's all about communicating with the dog. The dog can't talk. He doesn't know what you're saying. He understands that.
Right. Did they let the dog read the audiobook?
Yeah, I actually had one of my dogs in there with me, Nala. I did. So if you hear things in the background, that's
that's funny.
Nala.
That's funny.
Is that real? Yeah. So the dog's barking in the background of the audiobook?
She doesn't bark. She didn't move the whole time. She slept through the whole thing.
Did you read your own audiobook, or did they have somebody else? Did they have like the British guy?
No, I read my own audiobook. I narrated it.
That's good.
They said that people like it when you narrate your own book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they love it. It's funny, man. I had because my first one was in 2015, and they bitched. They wanted that British guy. It used to be this British guy that used to read 80 or 90% of them, and then it all kind of switched shortly after that. How long did that process take you?
It took 5 or 6 days. It took a minute.
Yeah.
It was harder than I thought it would be. That's what she said. But yeah, no, it took.
Nailed it.
The first day really surprised me. You got to sit there with this microphone in your face. Yeah, you got to speak right into the microphone. Read every sentence perfectly. Proper. Try to put some, and then it wears on your voice after a little while. So the next day I was feeling it. I was a little surprised, but
Strange,
I guess
right?
it's well worth it.
Yeah, because you
No,
go into day 3 of that, and you have no voice whatsoever, and you're just like, God damn it, man. If I fuck up this one phrase one more time, I'm going to shoot myself.
Seriously.
I could see you raging out in the booth, just like punching the goddamn plexiglass out.
It was a little frustrating. It was by the end of the day, I was pretty spent. Yeah, I'm sure you were the same.
Yeah. But what would you say is harder, going through buds or going through an audiobook?
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a toss-up.
It's a long 6 days in a sound booth, my man.
Yeah, it's worth it. Everybody, I didn't think they would actually want me to read it, but I guess everybody seems to like it too. I didn't know how well I did, but
yeah, it's one of those things where, it's the same with podcasts, man, where audio is taken over. And, look, the people always bitch that our shows aren't long enough.
Yeah.
And they always want longer shows. And it's like, hey, man, there's audiobooks out there if you want to hear all of us speak longer.
We're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Matt read his own as well. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people don't realize, the typical average audiobook is about 6 hours plus.
It's 6 to 9 hours, yeah.
Yeah, depending upon how long it is. Yeah.
And if you do it perfectly every single second of that book, then it's 6 to 9 hours of recording time. But that is not going to happen.
No. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, no fucking way.
That's not what
Especially not with military dudes, because we use like fuck as a comma in our sentences all the time.
Right.
Like, so anyways, fucking dot. You know what I mean? I can't imagine I haven't had to do that yet. I'm glad that I haven't had to, because I think I would rage the fuck out.
I think you'd be pretty good at it. Well, it's one of those things, once you get used to it, like Matt got in a good groove after the first day, and then he was able to carry it through. We hired a bunch of actors, so like they're interjecting, and that kind of helps break it up. But yeah, the first one was brutal once you get used to it. Any interest in writing another book one day?
Well, you guys,
not right now, we'll see what happens.
You guys have
we have a young adult
kind of another book. It's the young adult version. Yeah. Which I don't know, what is that? Are you trying to like frame the story differently to explain the dog and war to them, or is it just less profanity? What is it?
Yeah, less profanity. It's just for kids to read, so teenage kids. When I donated Cairo's vest to the 9/11 museum, one of the guys there kind of reminded me of a few things. One of them was a lot of children don't know what 9/11 is. It's been a while now. Mm-hmm. And how they do relate when they come to the museum is like they look at helmets, fireman helmets, and boots. And anything dog related kind of gets the point across. I think telling this story in children's book kind of way is great. And I hope kids learn a lot from it. Everybody seems to be loving the first book. So
yeah, it's doing great. In the second, actually the kids book, I'm really interested in that, because I wonder, have you guys thought at all about turning that into a graphic novel or some shit like that? Because I think that would destroy it with like a little like Cairo, the cartoon dog, but like it makes it real for some of these younger kids. Like they don't understand. Like you said, there's this whole new generation, whatever they're called, whatever their names are. It's Generation Y maybe, or whatever the fuck.
Generation Archangel now, according to Elon Musk.
God,
so.
That guy. Oh man, he's crazy.
Yeah,
I like it.